Start your day the joyful way. It's your weekday morning talk show inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes. And now here's your host, the Queen of Joy herself, Jessica Dugas. Good Friday morning, everybody. It is the Queen of Joy. The Queen of Joy is feeling a little bit better today. Thank God. I just a couple of days there when I was just in the midst of feeling all kinds of sorry for myself, but feeling better today. I think, stress and lack of sleep is a real thing, boys and girls. It will throw you completely off. And I ended up falling asleep. It was before 8 p.m. when I fell asleep last night. I feel about 85 years old. In going to bed that early, but here we are. And so I'm feeling a little bit better today, and I'm thankful for that. I stepped outside for a moment yesterday and half of my body melted. And I think that's part of the problem. It's been 100 degrees here, and that's not nice. It's not very kind of Mother Nature to do that because I melt. It's not friendly at all. Listen, if you're joining us live this morning, I'd love for you to say hello in the comments, say where you're joining from, what's bringing you joy today, and all that good stuff. My good friend, Judith Finneren, who I have gotten a hug from recently, is here today. I get to play Vanna White. Right here. Remember His Name is the name of her book, and it's fantastic. And get your tissues. Get your tissues. That's your one warning. That's all I'm going to tell you. What's bringing me joy today? We have feet on the ground in Connecticut helping us to get a secure housing for Connecticut because, life wouldn't be fun if there weren't at least 8 curveballs a day, which is what we're experiencing right now. So we have feet on the ground in Connecticut helping us look for housing. Listen, even though we knew that the buying a house market was crazy, renting a house market is insanity as well right now. Just no matter where you go, it really doesn't matter at all where you go. And so I'm very joyful that we have people at home that can help us out while we are not there to do that stuff. So I'm very thankful for everybody that's helping us out with that. So that's bringing me a lot of joy this morning. What else? I mentioned yesterday we were planning the actual trip that we make when we go to move next month, and we're less than a month out now. It's crazy. And I'm sure it's going to be a situation where the time will come and I'll be like, where did the month go? I have no idea. But I am having so much fun planning that trip because I knew that there were a lot, but I didn't realize just how many people that I know that I've never met in person are like on the way. Like, remember I told you yesterday, that's the direction. You don't even need a map. You just go, which way did Jessica point? That way. So there's a lot of people, and I am excited for so many hugs. I can't even tell you. It just thrills me beyond belief. It's going to be like the Breakthrough Show Network tour. I'm just thrilled. So that's bringing me a lot of joy. One of the people I've seen already, Lorianne Davis, that was here earlier in this series. Her and I have been friends for years now. She was one of the original hosts on the Breakthrough Show Network. I've actually already met her in person, but we're going to see each other again, which is really nice. I've got some family I'm going to be seeing on the way, and lots of first timers. So I'm really excited. I mean, y'all need to get ready because I have warned you. You've gotten off easy this virtual stuff here because I'm a hugger. I can't hug the screen, but it's coming. It's coming. So I'm thrilled about that. And also reconnecting with some old friends from school. And I was reminded when I went to go message my friend Luann about our shenanigans back in school days. And we had a Halloween, and I didn't have, a really decent costume. So I remember at the time, my mom's partner was like, you could just take my stuff and be a handyman. Can you just, you guys have seen the movie Mean Girls, right? So Mean Girls, the Halloween scene in that is very, very accurate. Halloween was, as a teenager, was typically that excuse for girls to dress how they're not supposed to dress. I'm just, and especially since we were at Catholic school, it was an excuse for the girls to dress some kind of way. I'll just say that. So me coming in, I felt like Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls when she walked in with the, the ghoul makeup on. She was the vampire bride or whatever the heck she was, and everybody else is wearing these Playboy bunny type costumes, and here she is like with the makeup and the drippy, horrid. So I'm going to show this to you guys in pure confidence that this is not going to go anywhere beyond this show. Okay. So there's my friend Luann on the side there. And there I am, the handyman with facial hair and whatnot. That's all. That's all. What happens on Project Joy Live stays on Project Joy Live. I just want to say that. So I was reminded. So I'm explicit. I'm excited to reconnect with Luann as well as several other of my old friends from school. And we will not be reenacting that moment. That is that. So speaking of back in school days, I wanted to show, because this is something else. We're going to think a little bit of ahead. You guys know we always do birthdays at the end of the show, but there was a birthday that I found out about this morning that has brought me a lot of joy because I have been sitting here singing for an hour, probably woken everybody up in my house. But so going back to when I was in school, I tended to be this person that was a child that was a little bit older than what I should be. Okay, give you an example. You guys know the movie Singing in the Rain? The main character of that movie is Gene Kelly. He was an incredible singer dancer. When he died, I had to stay home from school because I was upset. I was upset. Okay. And half of my friends even know who Gene Kelly was, let alone now I have to stay out of school because I'm depressed. So that's the kind of person I was always, and that's partly because I was raised by my grandparents, and I think I just was ahead of my time a little bit, or older than my time where music is concerned. So I loved growing up some Barry Manilow, let me tell you. Okay. And my friends used to give me absolute shit for that. Just Jessica, really? Like just no one, either they didn't know who he was or they were like, you're ridiculous. So I felt like I couldn't fully express myself and my love for Barry Manilow. So when I saw today that it was his birthday, I said, do you know what I'm going to do? For the first time in over 40 years, I am going to be myself. And I am going to sing you a little compilation of my favorite Barry Manilow songs. So we're going to do it here this morning. Here we go. Ready? I can't smile without you. I can't smile without you. I can't laugh. I can't sing. I'm finding it hard to do anything. You see, I feel sad when you're sad. I feel glad when you're glad. If you only knew what I'm going through. I just can't smile at the Copacabana, the hottest spot north of Havana. At the Copacabana, music and passion are always in fashion at the Copa. Oh, Mandy, well, you came and you gave without taking. And I need you today, oh, Mandy, will you kiss me and stop me from shaking? And I need you today, oh. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. If you're not singing, you're in trouble. I write the songs of love and special things. I write the songs that make the young girls cry. I write the songs. I write the songs. I hope y'all were singing with me, but I had to have that moment and allow myself to be who I am, which is a Barry Manilow fan. And happy birthday to Barry Manilow. Listen, all you people that made fun of me when I was younger, listen, I bet you wish you were me right now. That's all. That's all. So happy birthday to him. That's bringing me a lot of joy today. Listen, I love me some Barry Manilow. I can't hide it. I can't hide it at this point. Let's see who's joining us this morning. Good morning, Miss Brittany. Let me know how you're feeling today, my friend. Good to see you here this morning. Grand Rising, Miss Juju. It is good to see you. There's Judith in the green room. She's currently enjoying our coffee and donuts back there. Let me know how those are. Good morning, Miss Mandy. Speaking of Mandy, I was just singing to you. Did you hear that? Listen, I love some Barry Manilow. I can't. Everybody's singing. And speaking of, see, I had to sing the Mandy song because it is Mandy's birthday today. Happy birthday, Mandy. As I bet you didn't know that the person that wrote the song, Mandy, shares a birthday with you. Look at that. Look at that. You guys are great. Good morning, Sharon. Good to see you. I can't. It took everything I had. I said, I'm going to put together a little show for them this morning. I would love to go see Barry. Barry's doing a show in Vegas right now. That would like make my life. Brittany said, I got up and washed my hair this morning. That's as far as I got. Listen, I understand I'm proud of you that you got that hair done. I can't tell you, it's challenging. Also, you've seen the banner going on down at the bottom there. I want to give a big shout out to our supporters on the next network: Julissa, Karen, CK, YYZ, Last Mile, Shiraz, Donnell, Angelique, Carol, Heather, Brittany, Jeannie, Lori, Siri. Thank you guys so much for supporting the network. I appreciate you 100%. Yeah, listen, see, you're doing better than me and Brittany. Or me and Mandy, Brittany. So anyway, I hope you guys are set up to have a good day. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to be right back after this with our amazing guest, Judith Finneren. We'll be right back. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and today is Friday, June 17th, 2022. We are at the end of our second week of our summer reading series here on Project Joy Live. I hope you guys have been enjoying all of the authors that we have had on. Our next author today is a friend of mine, and she and I share the the experience of finding joy during and after a grief experience. So without further ado, let's welcome on my friend and author, Judith Finneren. Good morning, Judith.
Good morning. How are you?
I've lost my marbles this morning.
Well, I love Barry Manilow, so you can sing Barry Manilow to me anytime.
Okay. I will remember that. When everybody else is like, please shut up, I'm calling Judith.
That's right.
I love it. Do you ever think about that? Like times when you were younger, when maybe you were afraid to be yourself for whatever reason?
Oh, absolutely. I was so shy as a little girl. I was holding on to Mama's apron string and her pant leg. Nobody believes me nowadays. They're like, you were never that shy. Well, I was super shy. Yeah. And I can go into that sometimes now. It's weird how you can kind of go back.
Yeah. I agree. And because what's interesting for me thinking about that kind of being shy and everything, I could go on stage and I could perform, I could sing or do a play or whatever. But then when it would come to those one-on-one meetings with people, I would be very shy. And even now at times, when I go into a group of people and I'm supposed to like network or like I could do it online, but not for some reason. I don't know. We'll see how it goes with all these hugs I'm going to be getting in person.
There you go. That's right. You might need a little alone time after all that.
I know for sure. And everybody's saying good morning to Judith. So we appreciate that. So I mentioned that you and I shared a grief experience and we got to talk about, or not a grief, but grief experience in general. And we talked about that when you were on the Breakthrough show a couple seasons ago. If you want to just catch everybody up a little bit as to what was the thing that you experienced.
Sure. Gosh, what was it? 2011, July 27th. I'll never forget. And it's kind of strange. I'm in the room where I found out the tragic news. Mm-hmm. I had pulled in the driveway from work and I noticed the door wasn't open. The dog wasn't looking at me, and Ralph didn't look like he was home, but he had ridden his bike to work that day. And it started to rain a little bit. And I said, well, maybe he's somewhere. He's going to call once a ride since he's on his bike. And I walked in the door and I was probably in this room, maybe 2 minutes, and the phone rang. And I thought, oh, it's Ralph, I'm sure. And I said, hello. And they said, this is Pontiac Osteopathic Hospital. And, your husband isn't doing well. Are you going to come up here? And, I about fainted. I about passed out. I went into total shock. Right at the moment, I can't remember the exact words they said, but it was horrible. Like, he's unconscious. He's bleeding. I'm just like on the phone, like,
Yeah.
And that was it. And I remember sitting here in this exact room. This is what I call my living room, dining room space. Mm-hmm. And I had my dog here and I couldn't think. I went totally friggin' numb, totally probably shocked, really. And I just didn't know what to do. I couldn't think of phone numbers. Who do I tell? Who do I call? What do I do? And I finally came up with my sister-in-law's name in my mind and was able to look up her phone number and call her. Mm. And then I went outside and I went across the street to my neighbor who I knew was home. And I told him, and he said, do you want me to drive you? Do you want me to drive you to the hospital now? And I said, no, because he was severe diabetic. And I was so afraid that we wouldn't make it to the hospital.
Right.
And by the time we got there, he had passed, and he had been hit on his bicycle by a distracted driver. And it was horrible. The whole tragedy was one tragedy on top of another. The hospital was horrible. I mean, they wouldn't even tell me. I sat there with a sister-in-law on each side of me, Ralph's sisters, and the doctor and 2 nurses just stared at me. They didn't verbalize. They didn't say words. And I literally had to say, "Is he dead?" And I had to say it multiple times. And they shook their head in a positive way, or in a, yes answer way. And I was devastated. And my whole life changed that moment, that day. And it goes on now, because we had the court cases with the young man that hit him and killed him. And it's almost done, because I'm not going to keep battling it anymore. It's been too long, and it's just not worth it. But, memories come up and triggers come up. I have a cabin in East Tawas, I think I've told you about, and a young man got hit on the corner there and killed, 16 years old. And I was reading the article about it, and the man who hit him got charged with the same thing that the young man got charged with that hit Ralph. And I think people need to know this. It's called a moving violation causing death. It's a misdemeanor. They get a slap on the hand. They get a slap on the hand. They may spend a couple nights in jail. They get nothing. They basically walk free. So it's been real tough. And I've had a lawyer on it for all these years. And I was, what's that called? Not reimbursement. When the court says they need to pay you money. Restitution. Yeah. So, being a nice person that I am, people pleaser, nice person, I said, you can pay me $200 a week of this humongous amount this young man was supposed to pay me. Not that brings Ralph back in any way.
Right.
But what it does, it helps me know that this person is accountable for what he did.
Right.
And every time he has to send me that little chunk of money, he's remembering what happened.
Right.
And he paid for a little bit and then he quit. So I would forget about it for maybe a year or two to live my life. And then all of a sudden, the rage and anger would come back. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of him not accepting responsibility. He's in his 30s now. He was 26 when he killed Ralph.
Wow.
And so as we speak, somewhere around now, I should be hearing from the lawyer that they're knocking on the door. And he learned how to hide all his assets and all his money. So I may get some, I may not, but it's going to be over. It's going to be over, because I just, I got a life to live, and I don't want to keep battling it. But yeah, my life changed. My children's life changed. And,
And it's one of those things where, we talk about on this show often how obviously the point of the show is joy. And when we go through those things in the moment, we go through them. There's not, I'm sure that phone call you wouldn't describe as joyful and dealing with everything right after. But one of the things that, that we've talked about, you and I have talked about this as well, is the ability to experience joy among a range of other emotions at the same time. And I know that was your experience as you were starting to come to deal with the grief of this loss, is that you have those roller coaster moments. You have those moments where you're deeply, you might remember, something that Ralph did that made you laugh, and you'll be laughing so hard, and then it'll hit you right in the middle of that laughter. He's not here, and then you cry, and just those combination moments. So is that what it has been like for you, just kind of a mismatch of all these different emotions?
Exactly. Yes, it has. And I feel like it took a good 2 to 3 years to come totally out of it. The process was slow at first, because that numbness takes a while to wear off. But what I did, I came up with this little saying that I love and maybe would be helpful for others who are experiencing grief, is put grief on the back burner. It's okay to put it on the back burner. It doesn't mean you're not feeling it, or it just means, like, what I did is I'd go out to dinner with people. I felt really weird, though. I got to tell you, it was like I was still numb. So I'm sitting there with people at a restaurant, like, yeah, I'll have a hamburger. And you feel so weird, but you're so thankful that people, are inviting you out, because you're so lonely. I remember that aloneness and lonely feeling, my kids, everybody came for the funeral and that, but man, after everybody leaves, you're just kind of, how do you live your life now,
Yeah.
And I realized I had to create new memories. And as I created new memories, then the pain of the death isn't right at your doorstep.
Right.
Immediately after it is, because that's your memories, is, oh my God, what did Ralph and I do last year? What did we do on our anniversary? What did we do on our birthdays? And then as the years go by, I have a new guy friend in my life now who I can look back and go, oh yeah, that's what we did. And that was fun. And so, yeah, joy comes up, happiness comes up, your life starts to feel normal again, as normal as it can, I guess. A new normal is what I've heard it.
Right. Right. Well, and any loss is challenging, any loss period, but you and Ralph were together for almost 37 years.
Yes.
That is, it's challenging, and just the length of time, like that's 37 years worth of memories and that partnership that you have with someone, it that just came to a screeching halt. And so of course everything is going to be different now, and everything has to change. And you still, I'm sure it's been a similar situation for me where, I want things to move forward and move ahead, but I feel like I do devote energy to what the title of your book is called, Remember His Name. I devote energy to that. I devote energy to making sure that I don't forget, that others don't forget, that that there are traditions that are sacred and upheld, and how do you sort of balance those things, that moving forward with remembering his name?
Yes. Well, one of the ways, and this is another tidbit of advice, I guess I would say, don't be afraid to say their name. Don't, if you're around family members, a friend, people do tend to not want to say their name or to pretend like it didn't happen.
Right.
And, Father's Day is Sunday. And so, I'm already going to cry. It's a big weekend.
Right.
I miss him. And, I need to say his name. I need to remember. And I do, but I need to speak it. I need to share. Ralph was a beautiful person, a beautiful husband, a beautiful father. And I miss him terribly. And for other people to even share memories, hey, Jude, I'm thinking of you today. It's Father's Day. Do you remember when Ralph rode his bike in Ireland, or when he wore a bear costume when you went on one of your first dates. You wore a bear costume to the Allman Brothers. And it was so fun because everybody wanted to take photos of them. And, you know, yeah. So, you know, this time with Father's Day, with holidays, with anniversaries and birthdays, we call them second first. And that's another thing. It's like, and you don't realize it unless you've read about it or, you know about it. But it's like even going to a restaurant you used to go to that very first time is really tough.
Right.
It's really tough. Going to a park, going anywhere that you went with that loved one and shared sweet memories is tough.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say at this point. I blanked out.
That's all right. That's all right. How did the book come to be? How did all of that take place? Because and give us like a time frame as well of like, okay, he passed this year and this is when the book came out, so we have an idea.
Okay. Well, he passed, like I said, July 27th, 2011. And the next year, I have been going to Sedona, Arizona since 2006, except for the last 3 years, which I am hankering big time. I need to get to Sedona. I need to get there. And I will this year. But I went and I visited my friend and she says, Jude, you know, we have a film school. And this was in like 2012, spring of 2012, I believe. So maybe 6 months after Ralphie's death. And I'm like, oh, film school. Like I've never had any plans about making a movie or anything, but I'm like, yeah, it sounds something I might be interested in. So I go to the film school. The guy shows me around. I sign up. So that fall of 2012 through May of 2013, I made a film called Ghost Bike. And the reason I came up with that is I was thinking about it constantly anyway. And I thought, well, why don't I be creative with it? But, you know, if I'm going to think about it, let's create something.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it ended up in the Sedona Film Festival and several other film festivals around the country, which just, you know, there I am sharing my story, sharing the tragedy equals healing, right? Like you can't share your story enough. It heals you to even this today. You know, I'm honored that you're having me and allowing me to share this again because I don't get to do it that often.
Yeah.
So the film was created. So then several film festivals, which was so fun and just, you know, talk about joy, right? You're sharing a story with all these people. And so then a few years later, I'm thinking, when did my book come out? 2017, I think. July 2017. So again, I was in Sedona. Sedona, like, it opens you up to whatever you're feeling at the time. It really does. So if you're feeling, you know, you need to get something out, Sedona is going to help you do it. Like the energy there is phenomenal.
I've heard that about Sedona. A lot of people I know go and do retreats and whatnot there.
Yeah. I mean, so that's how the film came out. Well, lo and behold, my new buddy, Gary, and I are there. We're in this beautiful house we were blessed to rent. And it was overlooking like the red rocks and just beauty. Mule deer would come up. Little javelinas would come up.
Wow.
And I saw an ad for, do you want to write a book? Learn how to write a book. And I'm like, ooh.
This is why we can't take you anywhere, Judith.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I've always wanted to write a book, but I've always wanted to write a children's book. But I go to this and we sat through it. And I think I actually went to the intro 3 times. And I finally said, yeah, I'm signing up. This is awesome. I want to write a book. And that's how Remember His Name came out. And I wrote it at that house, many, many mornings sitting outside overlooking the beauty of Sedona. And I would just get in that frame of mind. He had some music, the man that ran it, that we would listen to every morning when we wanted to write. And it just flowed. It just flowed. And then let me share this, because I love this. It was near the end, and my mentor read it, and I had it, of course, in chapter order, right, that I thought was appropriate. And he said, I think you need to do alternating chapters. I want you to look at that. And I'm like, what's that mean? And he said, well, go to the library. You'll find books that have alternating chapters. He said it means kind of like you write about the present and then the past and then the present and then the past rather than all one thing. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I just worked on this book so hard and putting these chapters in order. How do I do that? And I sat on a couch because I got so frustrated. I didn't, I'm looking at the book going, I have no idea. And I prayed and I said, Spirit, please tell me, just give me the numbers. And I kid you not, I had pen in hand and I wrote down the numbers Spirit told me of the chapters and the order. And when I came kind of out of the channeling, if you will, or whatever experience it was, I said, oh, come on now. This isn't going to make sense. That was just some fluky thing. Lo and behold, that's the order the chapters are in. And it worked beautifully. It worked beautifully. So between the film and the book and sharing my story to this day, it's healing. And I've reached out to the mom of the young man that was killed up in East Tawas, where my cabin is, and she wants to put a ghost bike up. So we're helping her do that. And, I work with the League of Michigan Bicyclists, and right now we're trying to get laws passed for ending distracted driving and getting harsher punishments for people who do that.
Yeah.
Who kill people. So
yeah, I think we had talked about this briefly when you were on the show last time, that I lost a good friend of mine that was riding his bike and he was killed when he was 16 years old. And he was killed by a drunk driver. And this is a man who had been arrested 3 times prior to that incident for drunk driving. And it was, I remember dealing with that anger of like, how the hell did we get to number 4? And why was, and that 4th was that time that Josh's life was taken. And it just, I mean, is it challenging for you? Have you been able to feel anything for that young man other than anger?
I have. And Jessica, can you see me right now?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what my computer did, but I can't see you, but I'm going to stay sitting here and talking.
We can see you well.
Okay. And your question was, like compassion for the young man.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. When we went to court, and the judge asked me, is there anything you want to say or ask this young man? And I said, yes, there is. And she said, well, you guys can go in this little conference room. I've never been through court like this before. I'm like, wow, man. I was feeling all kinds of emotions.
Right.
And we sat right across from each other. It was just me and him. And honestly, I prayed, I cried, we hugged each other. And, in my heart of hearts, I do have compassion, but there's also that just like we have the joy and the anger and the rage and the grief, I have compassion, yet I have the anger and rage still, right?
Right.
And you can tell yourself, like, didn't it help me to tell myself that he didn't get up that morning to do that, for crying out loud, right? He
Right.
didn't want to destroy his life also.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I feel both. But as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, what do I need from him? It isn't money. You know what I need from him? I need him to apologize, to show some kind of empathy and some accountability, right? Whether it be, hey, Jude, can I come and mow your lawn? Here's some chocolates. Here's some flowers. I'm thinking of you on Father's Day. And I don't think I'll ever get that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's challenging to deal with those different emotions that come up, and wanting something that that you're never gonna get. And I appreciate you sharing that. That's a great tip, I think, to share, of reminding yourself, look, he didn't wake up in the morning to do this. That wasn't, I don't think anybody, well, majority of people on the planet don't wake up thinking about that.
Right.
And so I think that's really helpful as well. Where the one of the things that I love is the subtitle of the book is Conquering Sorrow, Accepting Joy. Can you tell everybody what you mean by accepting joy?
Yes. It is, allow yourself to feel that joy. Because there is still joy in life, right? There is. And the person that passed isn't going to want you to feel sad and not living your life every day. Your gift to that person is that you're living your life, right? And you're doing stuff to, whatever you need to do to help heal your grief. For me, it was the book, it was the film, it's continuing to be involved in helping bicyclists be safe and motorists notice bicyclists. And and I think the first few months, or maybe even longer for some people, you feel guilty, right?
Right.
Oh my God, I lost this person I loved. I can't feel happiness and joy. I can't smile, but as time goes on, that smile starts creeping across your face. Your gut starts feeling that joy again.
Yeah.
And it's okay, right? It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad you're saying that it's okay. And because, I've gotten a little pushback from time to time on this show. My effort, my wish is that everyone can, in any experience, choose to look for the joy or create the joy. But that's not, it's okay to choose in the moment to just be pissed off or just be sad, or it's okay. As long as you're okay in that moment, embracing that stuff, that's okay. And that in itself, the fact that you're choosing, I'm just going to feel all the things right now, that in itself is joyful.
Yeah.
To allow yourself to do that.
Yeah.
And so we have to stop thinking like that joy means, a big smile on her face and singing Barry Manilow, because that's not always what it is.
Right.
And Mandy said, it's hard for me to ugly cry. And yep, Judith has a great gift. She's doing it. She said, this is the second day people are cutting onions out there in the audience. Brittany said, Judith, thank you for your transparency and your light in this world. I love you.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love it. Well, I'm glad that you had the opportunity to come back with us today on the Breakthrough Show Network and share his story again, because we want people, it's not remembering. I think for me, saying remember his name is is a call for us to allow ourselves to experience the grief in whatever way that we do. And we don't have to, no matter what anybody says of, oh, get over it or whatever, we can choose to remember their names as time goes on, as long as we need to, as much as we want to. And just your book allows people to do that. I have put in the description or in the comments down below, you guys, the link to be able to purchase your copy of Remember His Name on Amazon. Is there any, I can't remember, so you're going to have to refresh my memory. Is there any place that people can see Ghost Bike?
Yes, I just checked it out this morning myself. If you put in Ghost Bike, all one word, and my name, Judith Finneren, it'll come up and give you links, and it'd be the YouTube link to that.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. And for those of you that are in our Discord community, I will post that link. Once I get to it, I will post it in the group as well for you guys so that you can click and go. Judith, would you like to stay for our birthday segment, or are you off for the day?
I think I'll be off for the day since I can't see you. Oh. I don't know what happened to this computer, but I'm looking at Adobe Flash Player and your face is gone.
Hi, Gary.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm good. We'll figure it out. Judith, thank you so much for being here today again, my friend. And I'm so glad we had the chance to meet up lately. It was for sure the highlight of my year so far. I appreciate you.
It was great. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you too. Thanks.
All right. No problem. You guys, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break and we'll talk to you in just a moment. Thank you.
Imagine a world where every child gets a great education. Educating all children is the only way to end poverty. This is what the Weiss Scholarship Foundation is working to accomplish. Our 6 staff members, our mentors and coordinators, who are on the ground in Kenya, are totally engaged in every aspect of our students' lives, so we can give them every opportunity for success. In just a few short years, we have already awarded 141 scholarships. We send children to high school who would have never gone without our support. And then we help them go on to either university or vocational school. We have already scaled our holistic business model to 4 locations and are ready to scale it to many more. Today it's Kenya, but tomorrow it's more countries. Please contribute what you can today. You can make a one-time donation, a recurring donation, or choose to sponsor a child all on your own for all 4 years of high school for just $3,500. Go to our website, www.weissscholarshipfoundation.org.
Crederò ancora nell'amore, anche quando il cuore greve e l'anima frantumata. Crederò ancora nell'amore, perché il mondo è dilaniato, non solo il mio piccolo paese dove vivo quasi al sicuro, dove vivo piuttosto bene, ma l'intero mondo, ogni giorno. Crederò ancora nell'amore, perché abbiamo bisogno di più luce, non di altri morti, non di più potere, non di nuove bombe. Crederò ancora nell'amore, così che i bambini crescano al sicuro, così che i nostri amici trovino rifugio, così che le frontiere si aprano. Crederò ancora nell'amore, anche quando il cuore greve.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. I want to thank you guys so much for standing for love with me here this morning. That was a beautiful rendition. The third one we've done in Italian this week in honor of our episode coming up this afternoon on the Breakthrough Show. We are going to Italy. I am so excited about that because, Italy was at the top of my list when I said we were going to do this series. Maddalena Scotti is our guest this morning. She's incredible, you guys. She's an NLP practitioner, and she absolutely, I'll give you guys a little sneak peek behind the scenes. She absolutely embodies what I know to be the Italian way, so to speak. So pay attention to when we do the 10 quick fire questions at the end of the show today, because that final question about respect and other countries and everything is something that I think is just, it's what I was taught being an Italian, you know, that respect is earned. And that's something that I think is just, it was very, very Italian for me. And of course we talk cannolis and the beauty of Italy and everything else, which I'm really excited about as well. So make sure you tune into that conversation this afternoon at 12 p.m. Central Time. Also, don't forget this weekend, you guys, Spirit Sessions, A View of the Light has a brand new episode at 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Okay, you got Bex, Teresa, and Rhonda. They have another incredible guest this week, so don't forget to check that out. It's really an amazing show, and I can't wait for you to see the next episode this Sunday. Also want to remind you really quickly to join our Discord server to chat with other fans, meet past guests, and hosts from the Breakthrough Show Network. Go to bit.ly/Discord Breakthrough. bit.ly/Discord Breakthrough. You need to type it in with the HTTP. Sometimes Bitly is a little bit touchy. I'll be kind. It's a little bit touchy. And if you, for some reason, you can't get that link to work, just let me know and I will send you over the link. And if you need any help navigating the platform, let me know as well. One of either myself or my admins can help you out with that as well. But we would love to have you there. What else is going on? We got to do birthdays today. Birthdays, we already know. We already know whose birthday it is. It's Mandy. Mandy. See, I just made up that song right on the spot. All right. I love it. I love it. Okay, so here we go. Birthdays. Today, we have in the celebrity world, Kendrick Lamar. Happy birthday, Kendrick Lamar. Venus Williams, tennis extraordinaire, has a birthday today. Barry Manilow, as we already mentioned. Hello, my best friend in my head, Barry Manilow. Also, the celebrities in my life, including Mandy, we have number one, Breakthrough alumni herself and friend of mine that I'm going to see real soon because she lives in Connecticut. Jocelyn Michelle has a birthday today. Also, Tanya Mikola, Robin Reed, and another Breakthrough alumni and really good friend over in NYC as well, Miss Mandy, is Kathleen Gubitosi. So look at how many you share the day with some amazing friends. And of course, happy birthday to Mandy this morning. Oh, Mandy. Look at how many songs you're getting today, ma'am. All right, here we go, you guys. Let's do it. Let's get our song on. Drum roll, please. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kendrick Lamar, Venus Williams, Barry Manilow, Jocelyn Michelle, Tanya Mikola, Robin Reed, Kathleen Gubitosi, and Mandy. Happy birthday to you. Yes. And we must play the dance song for Miss Mandy. Here we go. Okay, I need you to raise your hand if you always just start dancing when that comes on. Every time, like clockwork, every time. I'm over here living my best life. I don't care whose birthday it is. Rhonda's here this morning. Good morning, Rhonda. She says, happy birthday to all celebrating their solar return today. You are so welcome, Mandy. Happy birthday to you. And Donnell is here. Happy birthday. Yes. I hope you're set up to have a great day, a great weekend. Next week, let me bring it up because I can give you a little heads up before we finish the show today. Go through my book here. All right, next week on the Breakthrough Show Network, we have lots going on, some goodness happening. We have on Project Joy next week, we are finishing up our summer reading series, though I may be extending it 1 week, because what's going to happen is then I think we're going to have a couple weeks of a shorter show because I will be on the move. So I will keep you guys up to date with what's going on. But next week we have Mary Beth Decker, who wrote Peace in Passing, Brian K. Wright, who wrote 895 different books. Wednesday, we have none other than Shiraz coming up on Wednesday. You guys are going to love his book. Thursday, we have my friend and Breakthrough alumni Shoshana Chaim. And Friday, we are closing out with Michael Whitehouse, which is interesting. You guys are going to wait till you hear the story of how we met, okay? Myself and Michael Whitehouse, and how we're going to be seeing each other really soon, all right? So stay tuned for that. We're also going to have the Money Matters coming up on Tuesday. That's going to be the series finale of Money Matters with Carol at 12 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday. Divine DNA also, of course, on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Central Time. 11 a.m. Central Time on Thursday, Learning in Silence, of course, with Juju and Mandy. And then on Friday, we will be going to Ghana on the Breakthrough Show. You guys are not going to want to miss this story. He went and lived in a forest, just left everything and went. You're going to love the story. Okay. So very excited to have our guest on from Ghana on Friday. So that's all that's going on next week. And then, of course, don't forget, I mentioned Sunday is 11 a.m. Central Time. We have an incredible episode of Spirit Sessions. And then this afternoon, 12 p.m., we are going to Italy. So you want to go there. And that's it. That's what I have for you. That's what's going on. That's the 411, as we used to say. Is that a thing anymore? Can you still call that number? Who wants to find out? Oh, no, I'm afraid. I'm afraid it's going to call somebody that we don't need to call. Somebody let me know. Somebody let me know. We'll do it on Monday. We'll do it on Monday. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, you can look it up on the internet now. You don't need the 411 anymore. I appreciate you all being here today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'm your host. 411 is still real, she says. Okay, I'm gonna believe you. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. I'll see you guys next week.
You've been tuned in to Project Joy Live with Jessica Dugas, your weekday morning talk show, inviting you to start your day with a triple shot of good vibes only on the Breakthrough Show Network. Binge all past episodes of Project Joy at projectjoypodcast.com. Until next time, help us spread the joy by sharing this episode, and we'll see you soon.
Are you still here? Why are you still here? Go enjoy your weekend. Bye, everybody.